Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing quite a cool video. We're going to take a look at how much Realty Income stocks, how many shares of O would it cost to retire, to live a comfortable life, okay? So firstly we're going to take a look at some compound interest, but then we're going to take a look at what our annual dividend income would be, and our total balance as well. So let's say we wanted $1,000 a week. Okay, we're gonna go for $52,000 a year dividend income from Realty Income. Okay, so we're gonna see how many shares that will be. Let's start by trying to do 3,000. No, it's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be a lot more than that. Probably maybe 8,000 might do it. I don't know. What's 5%? Oh god, we're gonna need a lot more. We're gonna need about this much, aren't we? So if we have a initial investment amount of $1 million. Let me just put $1 million in there. So it's going to be 16,500 shares. Oh, wow. So if we could put $1 million in there cash today, and then it's distributed monthly, we get about 5% dividend. Let's say the expected annual dividend increase. Well, we can just Google that. Okay, let's have a look. In percentage would be nice. It's constantly increase. Oh, okay, 5.1%. So let's put an average of 5%. Expected share price income increase. Okay. Yep, 5-year return. No, not that. Return. Here we go. Where are we looking at? Let's say this five-year return. So this is how easy it is to really break it down and see how much you would need of one stock to get a certain amount. Okay, 6.8% trailing returns from wow, okay. That's, oh no, here we go, 5-year, 5%. Okay, let's stick that in. 13%. Oh no, not 15. And then let's drip it. So let's say we've got that $1 million. Okay, so if I calculate the returns for just 1 year, it should give us an annual dividend income of $55,000. Okay, so you need $1 million. You need $1 million to put it into Realty Income, and you're going to get, 5.1% of that, which is $51,000 a year. But you stick it in for 1 year, you're actually, with your 5% dividend yield, you're actually getting, 55 grand. But this is where the magic happens. You start increasing these years. Let's say you don't need that $1 million right now. Let's say you're my age. Let's say you're 22 and you have $1 million. You want to park it somewhere that's just going to grow for the next 10 years, and you don't want to touch it. Okay, so instead of getting $50,000 a year, which you would get if you just used it now and you started drawing from that dividends, you go, okay, great, I got $1,000 a week. Let's say you're my age and you want to retire at, let's say 45. Okay. Let's say 45. So that's 23 years from now. And now look, I have $1 million. I could put $1 million into this right now, let it sit there compounding for the next 23 years, and I would have $26 million there, and I would be earning $3.6 million a year from dividends. $3.6 million a year versus 55 grand a year, and I started with the same 1 million. Let's say I waited until I was 55, right? I just put this $1 million in there now. Let's say I'm a singer, right? A rapper, a football player, a UFC fighter, and I've just won my biggest paycheck of my career, right? I'm 24 years old. Just won my $6 million paycheck or my $2 million paycheck, and then I go, okay, $2 million, I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm not gonna touch it until I'm retired. Until I retire at this for me this would be 55. Okay. If I just put my $2 million check in there and left it there until I was 55, I'd have 612 million. 612 million, and I'd be earning 130 million each year from dividends. Now, is this realistic for someone to put their money in and leave it for 33 years before actually reaping the benefits? Maybe not. Maybe not. But for me personally, I'm definitely looking at doing something like this, where I will keep it in until I'm 35. Okay, so 35, and I could clear off 10 million at 35. And I got almost $1 million a year from dividend income. I mean, definitely, if I wait till 40, that's $20 million and 2.2 a year in dividend income. This is off Realty Income. You're getting your monthly dividends with this 2.2 million as well. So that's it's quite insane, really. You're getting almost 200 grand a month, $200,000 a month just dropped into your account, into your brokerage account or your bank account, potentially with that amount. It's quite amazing, right? You'd invested 2 million, but you've earned 12.4 million in dividends. And now this can be scaled down. I'm massively overinflating this for a lot of people. I understand that. But let's say that your initial investment amount was $10,000. Okay, it was $10,000, not 2 million like I'm talking about, but $10,000. Okay, that's what you invested, and you just let it compound for the next 18 years. You forget about it. You're gonna have 100 grand there. You've times your money by 10, and you're now earning $11,000 every year in dividends. So after 18 years, you would be earning more each year in dividends than you'd ever put in the first place. That's the sort of magic we're talking about. It doesn't matter if we're talking 10,000 or 10 million, which is seriously impressive. I mean, 10 million, you would have, what's that, 103 million. 103 million. Wow. Very nice. When we start to bump these numbers up, that's when we're getting silly money. 16 billion. If you put 10 million in, you've left it for 38 years. That's why you have people like Warren Buffett, who their financial growth absolutely accelerates near the later stages of their life, when they get past 50. I'm personally looking at things like 13 to 18 years out as a kind of retirement age. I think for my lifestyle, between 35 and 40 would be quite a nice kind of take the foot off the gas kind of age, because something like this would be, I think, sufficient to fund a retirement, right? A comfortable retirement at $2.2 million annual for a retirement. Yeah, that's quite comfortable. I would think it's a passive source of income. But everybody's position is different. You might have a lesser amount. You might only have 200,000, but you might have a longer period of time to think about it. You might have 38 years. You might have 40 years left until you're wanting to retire. And, look at that. What's that? That's with 200,000? That's with 200,000. If you could hold it for 40 years, you'd be earning 200 million a year in dividends. Like, the compound interest is insane. So this is not financial advice. You should always do what is best for you. I'm no advisor. I'm just sharing the sort of things which I'm looking at to completely open my mind with the possibilities, and the multiple options that we really have when choosing a financial journey. Do we want to choose growth? Do we want to prioritize dividends and income like I do? I personally prefer income. I want to somewhat sustain my portfolio. I want that consistent growth, but in the form of payments rather than share price increase. I do like to have a little gamble on certain stocks every now and then, and crypto and such, but I think it's important to have that backbone of your portfolio, that dividend income. I think it's quite a nice thing to have. It's quite addictive, actually, to keep on adding into it and keep on buying more income, knowing that this week you're going to get $200, but if you build it up, then next week you might get, a lot more. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Do subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this short little video showing you how much you would need. Well, what was the definitive answer? You needed $1 million, right? You needed $1 million to put it in to be getting 50 grand a year. But if you hold that for, let's say, 15 years, you're actually going to be earning a lot more, right? You're going to be earning a lot more. That's the point, isn't it? Compound interest, dividend reinvestment plan. It's important. I do it. We have age on our side. Compound them gains. Let it roll. Like the video if you enjoyed, and have a nice day.